did they say our way of life was called?
As if it matters what it's called. Still, if you must know, it's called a subsistence economy.
Subsistence economy. It's terrible. I work day in, day out just to keep us alive.
Well, it's not just him. Every human being here is just a machine.
You fill them up with food and water, and then you use the energy you get from food and water to dig the ground, to plant seeds, to grow grain, and to keep the animals.
Then you eat the food you've grown to give yourself energy, to keep yourself alive, to plant more seeds, to grow more food.
To give yourself more energy, to plant more seeds.
To grow more food, to give yourself more energy. It's a trap, you know. The subsistence trap.
It needs a genius to get us out of this one. Oh.
Come on, kids, run for it!
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, that landslide, it's huge.
And it's blocked off the whole of the valley.
Now we'll never be able to get our cattle and sheep to the only grazing they've got.
They'll die, and we'll starve. If we could only get across the river.
Oh, just look at that lovely green grass. Enough to make any cow's mouth water.
But we'll never get the animals across that river safely.
Unless we build a bridge.
But I only have enough energy to plant the seeds, to grow the food, to give me the energy
Oh, we'll never build that bridge. What we need is a genius.
Wait. I have an idea.
Uh-oh, he's got an idea.
Everybody round here is like us. They have 1 cow, 2 or 3 sheep, a few hens and a patch of ground for corn. They catch their own fish, collect fuel for cooking, build their own houses for themselves to live in, and they make their own clothes for themselves to wear.
Though some are better at some things than others.
Precisely. For example, you make the best clothes in the village.
Well, it can be quite flattering when he feels like it.
Though I suppose it's only because I'm so good at getting good wool from our sheep.
The truth of the matter is that the man with the real knack with sheep is our next-door neighbour, Mr. Shepherd, not you at all.
Oh, well, that's true. I must be best at something, though.
Thinking, love. You're very good at thinking.
Hey, that gives me an idea. Listen, suppose we alter the system. There are 10 families in our village, as it is now. Every household has their own cow and their 1 sheep. They keep poultry, catch their own fish, grow their own corn, and collect their own fuel.
And they do their own cooking. And they make their own clothes.
Right. So in order not to waste time walking to the woods to collect fuel, or waste energy by 1 man looking after 1 cow, why doesn't each family specialise?
What? Divide the labour?
Precisely. Division of labour. That's what it's all about.
So only 1 family looks after the sheep?
Mr. and Mrs. Shepherd. They really got away with sheep.
And another family sees to the cows?
The cowards. They're marvellous.
Yeah. Another does the fishing?
Mr. and Mrs. Fisher.
And others do the farming, collect the fuel and do the cooking?
And we make the clothes for the whole of the village.
The tailors.
Right.
Oh, but that leaves 2 families over. The masons and the carpenters.
Because 8 of the families in the village specialise, they produce enough for 10.
And that leaves the other 2 to build a bridge across the river to the new pasture.
Brilliant!
Yes!
Let's put it to the others and see if they agree. Besides, think of what will happen if we don't do something soon.
Yeah, if we don't, our animals will have nowhere to graze.
And we'll all go hungry.
Well, that's settled then.
To you, Charlie.
It worked!
Who would have thought it?
Not only are Mr. and Mrs. Farmer getting bigger crops than any of us managed on our own, the fishers are bringing in more fish, and the shepherds are keeping all our sheep much better.
Not to mention the fact that the whole village is better clothed now that the tailors are in charge.
But what about the masons and the carpenters? They're well fed and well dressed just like the rest of us, but now that the bridge is finished, there's really nothing for them to do.
I've got an idea.
Oh, she's got an idea.
Mrs. Farmer over there, she spends most of her time carrying water from the river to water her crops. Well, if the carpenters and the masons could just be persuaded to dig a channel to take the water from the river to the field...
Not only would it keep the crops watered, it would save the farmers energy, and they could use that for growing even more food for the rest of us.
Brilliant!
And that's how it was.
When every family did everything itself, everybody was working flat out from dawn till dusk just to stay alive.
But now we've hit on division of labour.
And we've all become specialists. And we've all become more skilled at our speciality. And as a result, we have a surplus.
And that surplus is the mason and carpenter families, or rather, the product of their labour.
They've opened up bigger, richer pastures for all our cattle and sheep. And they've given us a regular supply of water, and that means better crops of vegetables and grain.
And all this is one of the most important things ever to have happened in the community. The surplus created by dividing the labour. It's the first step on the path to prosperity, and it's a tremendous step.
Division of labour by product is at the heart of all progress and prosperity, and it's not hard to see why. Well, just think about the sort of food we eat every day. Cheese from a huge factory in Holland. Salads from specialist farms on the Channel Islands. And that ham is from one of the great Danish pig farms.
More than 120,000 pigs a month leave Denmark as pork and ham and bacon and sausages to shops of the world.
The bread comes all the way to your table from a great wheat field on a Canadian prairie. The tea comes from northern India, where the villagers make a living by exporting to the rest of the world.
By cultivating thousands of acres, they produce tea at a price you can afford.
That's another bonus of specialisation, a bonus of division of labour by product. Goods become cheaper.
But of course, it doesn't just happen in agriculture. Everything on this table is mass-produced by specialists. Plates, knives, forks, table mats, the lot.
And that leads to another step in specialisation.